Hello and welcome to the program. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. You can join the conversation right now on X using the hashtag Beyond 100 Days. Remember to tag at TVC News On. On the program today, we're staying with the political crisis rocking Rivers State. President Bola Tinubu has now called on Governor Wike-Fubara, political leaders and their supporters to exercise restraint and uphold the rule of law. In response to recent tensions following last Saturday's local government council election, the president expressed deep concern over reports of arson and explosions in the state. He urged all political actors to de-escalate the situation and discourage their supporters from engaging in violence or destructive actions. President Tinubu directed the police to restore and maintain peace, law and order immediately, while instructing law enforcement agencies to bring the situation under control. He emphasized the need to ensure the security of public institutions. President Tinubu said government facilities built with public funds must be safeguarded from vandalism. He stressed that self-help has no place in a democratic system, especially after 25 years of continuous democracy. According to the president, the judiciary can settle all political disputes as well as the outcome of this election, which he says shouldn't be an exception. Over the weekend, suspected political thugs attacked some local government council secretariats in Rivers State. Reports say the attacks have prevented some of the newly elected local government chairmen from resuming for work after their swearing in by Governor Fubara on Sunday. The secretariats of Ikwere, Emohua, and Eleme local governments were set ablaze, while sporadic gunfire forced workers to scamper for safety in Obiakpo local government area. The chairman and other leaders were escorted out of the premises by the supporters after relative calm returned. Police has yet to confirm reports of casualties suffered in different parts of the state as a result of the violence. This is coming after the newly deployed Commissioner of Police, Bala Mustafa, ordered immediate withdrawal of all police personnel previously deployed to seal and safeguard the local government secretariats in the state. Earlier, we spoke to our correspondent, Uche Okoro, who gave situation report on the attacks.
For Sakotis local government area, which was relatively calm, even though we heard that there were attempts earlier in the day by some persons to gain access and prevent the elected chairman from gaining access, but relatively Port Harcourt City local government was calm. In Obiakpo wasn't calm at all. Sporadic gunfire rang out in the air for minutes. Do not know, as at this time, it is still unclear who is responsible for the attacks we are hearing coming from different local government areas. It is still unclear, but what we know is that this many across the state, majority of local government chairmen have been unable to resume for duty today, Monday, as expected by residents of the state. We are also getting reports that there are a number of casualties in some local government. Sad news coming from some local government areas that some local government areas have recorded casualties, have recorded deaths. But I can't confirm that. I have tried to reach out to the Rivers State Police Command, but right now they are yet to react to what's going on in the state. I've spoken to some police officials who have said that I should hang on for clearer picture. They also are unable to confirm or deny news of casualties. But I have seen some very graphic images coming from different local government areas. I have unconfirmed reports have it that not less than 4 persons have already lost their lives. Well, we expect the police to come out to confirm this.
Let's get more perspectives as to what's happening right now in Rivers State. I'm joined by Honorable Leyi Kwane, who is former Deputy Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Thank you for joining us on the program this evening. The presidency has now reacted to developments in Rivers. Mr. President is saying the judiciary can settle all political disputes as well as the outcome of this election. He's also instructed law enforcement agencies to bring the situation under control, emphasizing the need to ensure security of public institutions. What do you make of this intervention? Mr. Kwane, I'm asking what you make of Mr. President's reaction to the developments in Rivers State.
Good evening. I can get you clearer.
I'm asking your thoughts about Mr. President's intervention, calling for security to bring order and peace to the state. Well, we obviously have some connection issues with Port Harcourt. We're following this story very closely, speaking to stakeholders, especially those in Rivers State who see things for themselves. And the big question right now is what's the way forward? And how can the oil-rich state move beyond what seems a violent reaction to the just concluded local government election in Rivers? We understand that the political figures in this conflict are known to everyone. And the big question is, are we shying away from confronting them, calling them out to ensure that they do the needful? Honorable Kwane, I'm asking for your reaction to President Tinubu's intervention, asking that the judiciary can settle all of the conflicts and also talking to security operatives to ensure calm and order in Rivers.
Good evening, and thank you for having me on this evening. In the history of our election and democracy in the state, I think for the first time, we had a very peaceful, credible, and transparent local government election that took place on the 5th of October 2024. And after the election results were declared, we had expected that those who were not satisfied with the outcome of the election should do the needful by going to court, because I also expect that not too far from now, the governor will be setting up an election petition tribunal through which those that were dissatisfied with the election result will be able to vent their grievances. The newly elected chairmen were expected to resume duty at their various posts this morning, and to our greatest surprise, rather than the Inspector General of Police mandating the police to provide security, they withdraw security completely. I don't know what all of that was intended to be. And as I speak to you, though I have not witnessed a lot of them, the Rivers State is bleeding currently as a result of the mayhem wreaked upon our people by this opponent of our democratic practices.
So when you say that the election, when you say the election was credible and transparent, Honorable Kwane, I'd like us to probe further into that, especially a situation where winners were announced without the results of the election being announced publicly. What do you make of that system?
Who said that results were not announced publicly? The chairman of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission is a very credible man, a retired justice of the High Court. So he is quite abreast of what the RISEC laws say. So the declaration was in accordance with the Rivers State election laws.
Specifically, are you saying that the chairman of RISEC announced the figures won by each party in this election?
Very well. Justice Enebeli is a man of integrity. He's a very transparent retired judge that has served in that capacity before his retirement. And being a lawyer, being so trained, has complied to what the law setting up the RISEC provided for. So there was nothing strange that he did. Everything was in accordance with the law. So it was in accordance with the law.
What do you consider the way forward, considering the reactions following this election and the violence that ensued afterwards?
You know, the way forward is that these political gladiators, those enemies of our democracy, should leave the governor alone so that he will be focused on his responsibility. 4 years is not too long a time. So if you feel that you don't have a part to play currently politically, you have to exercise restraint and wait till 2027 while you come out and test your popularity before Rivers people?
Mr. Kwene, hold that thought. I'm joined now by Liberos Oshoma, who is a legal practitioner and who's also been following this development very closely. Mr. Oshoma, thank you for joining us on the program. I'm sure you read
my pleasure. Thank you.
Indeed. I'm sure you read former President Goodluck Jonathan's statement calling on the National Judicial Commission to take action that will curb the proliferation of court orders and judgments, especially those of concurrent jurisdiction giving conflicting orders, like what we've seen in recent months. According to him, if this is not checked, it will ridicule the institution of judiciary and also derail our democracy. How do you react to this, especially how things play out in the days leading to the local government election in Rivers State?
Yeah, we are still talking about ridiculing the judiciary. Then we really don't know what, like the Americans will say, we don't know what time it is. We have allowed the politicians to ridicule the judiciary. Courts now, the politicians file actions in court and forum shop. We judge will do their bidding. And then in some cases, when judgments are given against them, they flagrantly violate those orders. So it is not new. It's, so if we are still talking about, not allowing conflicting orders, let me give you an instance. In 2015, when the fight for the soul of PDP was on, you saw that today a court in Rivers State will give an order. Tomorrow, a conflicting order will emanate from the Federal High Court, same Federal High Court in Abuja. Today, you have consistently, you have one court in Rivers State, the State High Court giving one order. The Federal High Court in Abuja, will give a conflicting order. We know where those that are beating the drums. But that said, also, in 2015, if you remember, let me quickly refresh our memory. Justice Passion granted an order restraining former Governor Wike from dissolving the elected local government chairman and councillor. But he went ahead to dissolve it despite that court order. In 2021 also, Justice Polycarp Heyman ordered the reinstatement of Saruwa Polytechnic sacked workers. Wike violated that court order. As recent as 2024, Justice Biabo restrained PDP from holding Congress in Rivers State. Wike went ahead and held Congress. So today, Wike is suffering from his own medicine. So that's why you see Federal High Court today will give one order, the State High Court will give a contrary order. I was in Port Harcourt. I was in Rivers State. And when I was to leave on Saturday evening after the election, and when I saw the outcome of, what was playing out the day before, I had to run away from Port Harcourt on Friday night. So what is happening is unfortunate in Rivers State. What is playing out now is unfortunate. And I think, as unfortunate as it is, in as much as I feel that Wike is suffering from his own medicine, but we cannot fold our hands and allow local government elections to go the way it is going. Local government elections were held in Anambra State. Opposition party boycotted it because to them it was a selection process. Anambra swept the poll. Local government elections were held in Kogi State. Opposition party also didn't participate in Kogi. APC swept the poll. We saw how local government elections were held in Edo State and how PDP swept the poll, and guns were fired. And today, the same people that complained about how INEC manipulated the process in Edo, how INEC is a disgrace and how INEC is, bringing down democracy, how the president, has allowed his party to run riot. The same people are the ones celebrating the selection rather, in Rivers State today because of the crisis between Wike and Wike-Fubara. And like they say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
You did.
But we can't grow democracy like this if we continue to pick and choose which one to select. So for me, I really don't pity both parties. Wike-Fubara is just giving Wike a dose of his own medicine. But it is this about the people. Can we grow democracy like this? No, the answer is no. We need genuine people if truly we're talking about local government governance at the local level. During Wike's tenure, people talked about, Wike is building bridges. He's building bridges. But I have consistently asked the question, about the human capital development and where are the jobs? Nothing.
Mr.
It is the
Shoba,
same thing with this one.
Mr.
So
Shoba,
it's quite unfortunate, really. Yes, I can hear you.
moving forward, I just wanted to react to Mr. President's intervention, asking that the judiciary be allowed to settle the political disputes and also instructing security agencies to bring the situation under control. You just talked about the judiciary experience. Do you think the courts still have the capacity to resolve this matter moving forward?
They do not have the capacity to resolve the matter. It is clear. Like I just told you, I just explained to you, Rivers State High Court, he who pays the piper dictates the tune. Rivers State High Court, which is under the governor, will give a contrary order. The FCT, Federal High Court, we know when we say the FCT, definitely Wike will have influence there. We'll give a contrary order. Is Mr. President not seeing all of this? All of these statements, to me, are playing to the gallery, saying, no, let the court resolve. Which court? The one in Rivers or the one in the FCT? Or maybe the Supreme Court, if eventually we believe that the Supreme Court will be able to do justice without fear or favor. As for the police, I will not say that, where police, we've lost hope in the police, but clearly you can see that the police are taking side in some instances. Situations where police, depending on the party that they are supporting. Like I said, I was in Rivers State. And a situation where elections are holding, the police says they will obey the Federal High Court order, restraining the governor from going ahead with the election, or restraining INEC from releasing register. And then civil defense supported the governor, and said they were going to provide security. So which police are we talking about now? The one that's clearly taking side, or the judiciary that is playing ping pong with all of this?
Mr. Shoma, let me bring Mr. Kwane back into this conversation.
So quickly, it is the elders of Rivers State that will be able to call the warring parties to order. And maybe, like Mr. Kwame has said, tell Wike to say, look, you give goat to somebody, come on her for the rope. It
depends on who the elders are, because we heard from some elders just before this election who also took sides. So it's an interesting way to look at it.
They are not taking sides. That's the unfortunate part of it. That they are not taking sides. Some are with Wike, some are with...
Absolutely, the point I was making.
Depending on whose children are given commissionerships and the appointment.
It's important that we make clear that we made frantic efforts to get someone to speak for the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory and his supporters. We couldn't get it as at the time of going on air with this show. We probably will get someone from that faction in the course of subsequent bulletins. But Honorable Kwane, the political figures in this conflict are quite known to everyone. We can shy away from mentioning their names within the context of this show, but we also cannot shy away from what they have said before all of this happened. Have we gone past that time where we can get both of them in the same room to politically resolve this matter? You are the politician here. How does it work?
Beyond resolution, and what I feel in this context, in this regard, so to speak, is about the interest and the well-being of the average Rivers person. Currently, I will seriously align myself with Governor Wike-Fubara because he seems to be in the driver's seat currently and pushing for the general interest of the average Rivers person. We have actually not gone past where we can talk, but importantly, if all of these gladiators should be able to drop their ego and embrace the fact that Governor Fubara is the current governor of Rivers State and that all loyalty must go to him, then so be it, because he's a political godfather that, I'll use that word, facilitated the process that led to his emergence as the governor. Know the dynamics of power, and as soon as you give power to somebody, you will not expect him to still remain a boy. Governor Fubara represents the dreams and the aspiration of the average Rivers youth currently, and we have so aligned ourselves with him, and any other thing that goes to the contrary will not be in the best interest of the average Rivers person.
The initial part of your response as to whether or not these issues can still be resolved politically. Do you think there's a sense in which Governor Fubara can consolidate on his powers as governor without reconciling with his political godfather?
Well, I am not against the aspect of reconciliation, because as a practicing Christian, the Bible says, inasmuch as it lies within us, we should live in peace with all men, but in course of pursuing peace, it should not be to the detriment of one's life. It should not be to the detriment of what you believe in as a person. You have to love your neighbor as much as you love yourself, but you cannot love your neighbor beyond yourself. And if the truth be told, that Governor Fubara is the governor of Rivers State currently, and Rivers people will hold him accountable for whatever he does with their resources at the end of the 4 years. So all other interests must align with this vision of the governor as the present chief executive of the state. So any other thing, the reconciliation that goes to the contrary, any reconciliation that talks about dishing out Rivers money to some other interest anywhere will not be accommodated. I have been privileged to talk with Governor Fubara on so many occasions, and I am so excited that he is a man that put Rivers first and think Rivers first.
All right. I hear you clearly. Mr. Oshoma, we're running out of time. I wonder how reconciliation works that way, asking a single party to align. We saw that play out earlier. Just a minute, Mr. Oshoma. We saw that play out earlier when they signed an agreement that was considered to have, favored one side above the other. But as we speak now, people are dying. Our correspondent, confirmed earlier that 4 people died in the latest explosion in Rivers. Can we force this gentleman to sit down and talk? It's about the life of people living in Rivers. It's about governance. What do you consider the way forward?
Let me tell you, Nifemi, I am not worried that the 2 gladiators can sit down and talk. I am more worried about their advisors. You see, the people around the corridors of power are more deadly than those in power. Those people who are benefiting today will not want peace. Look, let me tell you, it is not about the fact that Governor Fubara is governor of today, but somebody assisted him to get there. It's about give and take. Governor Fubara should be ready to give some and take some. And that's what settlement is all about. I'm a certified negotiator. So it's not about, you are the governor, everything must align. Also, Wike had also said that it is not about money. Currently, we call him governor of FCT minister. So he's akin to a governor of FCT. You can say that man is stealing money. But it's about, like he has said, it's about structure. If somebody assisted you to climb up, yes, why we agree that the person should not be breathing down your neck, should not tie a rope around your neck and hold it. You also should be ready to give out some. And that's what negotiation is all about. But in the event that some of these persons are encouraging him, look, you are the CEO, you are the governor, you can do and undo. You hold the yam and the knife. It is the people. It is not. Look, let me tell you also. I was laughing when the honorable was talking always about the people, about the youth. It has nothing to do with the people. Both Wike and Fubara's fight has nothing to do with the people. I just came. Port Harcourt is a glorified village compared to when you talk about developmental indices. So it has nothing to do with the people. When I hear, Wike build bridges, this man is constructing road, and then you look at people rambling, there are no jobs, nothing. You look at the what do you call it, skyline in Port Harcourt, in Rivers State, there's nothing there. We're talking about 2 political gladiators who are struggling money, who are fighting ego, and then the people behind them, I would say it's about the people. It's not about the people. So if it's about these 2 persons, I believe they can sit down really and talk, because before now they had the tape. For the people who are fueling this fight are those around the corridors of power, those around Wike, and those around Fubara.
All right. Mr. Oshoma, we have completely run out of time. I hear you clearly that the advisors have to also take a cue to bring both of them together. Honorable Lai Kwane is former Deputy Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly. Liberal Oshoma is legal practitioner. Gentlemen, thank you so much for talking to us on the program this evening. Hopefully, peace returns to Rivers.
Thank you.
As we speak, it looks like a river of confusion. We'll continue this conversation tomorrow. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.